Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Friday morning. Hope you guys are having a great week. We got lots of things going on right now.
Yes, we do.
We just finished up the Woodworker Source sign, and we are delivering that. Actually, we're filming this on Thursday. We're delivering that today. You guys will see the final video on that on Monday. Yeah. Man, it came out pretty cool.
It came out great. It really did. You guys, I think you guys are gonna like it. And then we're gonna do a video on Instagram, right? Of you delivering it to them.
I think so. Yeah, we're gonna somehow. Yeah,
we haven't figured that out, but because Dad's gonna present it at a managers meeting for Woodworker Source today, which is Thursday. But yeah, I think they're going to love it.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
That wasn't really planned. It just kind of worked out that way. We're going to be down there, and it just kind of worked out that there was a managers meeting going on. So Corey, my buddy Corey, invited us to come to the managers meeting and kind of give it to everybody there. And we've got the other two in process right now. We'll probably have those done within a week or two. Anyway, all right, let's get into a few questions here. I got some really good questions from Greg. These are all actually from Greg that wrote me. So the first one I'm going to let you take, Ryan.
All right. So it seems like Greg is fairly new to the channel, and so he's got some. Might be kind of going over some stuff for some of you guys that have been with us a while, but this is a really good question. He said, "Is it best to scallop your signs before or after you route the sign?" So this is scalloped right here, right? Sorry,
that was good for the sound.
I was probably loud. This is scalloped right here, and then this is chamfered. So whatever you decide to do or whatever the customer wants, I did, especially when you're carving on site, it's always better to prep your boards, because you get your pickets or whatever you decide to use, you cut them to size, you sand them. I do my edges first. I route my edges after I sand them, then I spray them, then I put them all on my shelf. And whenever I need a sign, whatever it is, I take it out and just do the carving itself, the routing. Especially if you're carving on site. The first time I did the Park Feet in Escalon, which is a little festival, the big festival in town, I didn't prep my boards. And when you're carving on site, it can get really hectic really fast. You can have nothing going on for a little bit, and then 4 or 5, 6 people want to sign at the same time. So to have your boards prepped first, have all your edges done, have the edges painted to where all you got to do is lay it out, carve it, and spray it and sand it, is definitely a better idea. And even the holes drilled in the top, I drill all the holes at the same time when I'm prepping my boards.
Yeah. So
that for me definitely works better.
Yeah, it's definitely and the fact that when you're prepping your boards, the last thing you want, because every once in a while one of these scallops will go bad or something will go bad, you'll find a crack. A lot of times when you're prepping your boards, that's when you'll see a crack or a split in the end of your boards. So as you're prepping, it gives you a chance to kind of check your boards out a little bit more, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspect your boards a little bit more. The last thing you want to do is have all of your routing done, and then when you're putting your edge on, then you find a split in the board, and you've got all that work wasted. So I definitely am a big proponent, especially on site, of getting your board prep done first. I think it's a good practice for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Is there an additional charge for, say, using the ribbon sign board or other templates versus a flat board? So what he's talking about here is this is a regular 6x24. Would I charge more? This is, in essence, it's a little bit smaller. I don't know if that's coming across on the camera. Kind of, yeah, you can see that on the camera, right? It's a little
yeah.
bit smaller. This is like 5 by 22, and this is basically 6 by 24, 6 by 23 and a half, whatever. Yes, I do normally charge, and again, most of these questions have to do with selling small signs, either whether you're carving on site or whether you're at a craft show, whatever. I normally do charge a little bit more for these, $5-10 more, depending on what the shape is, what size it is, just because there's quite a bit more work in cutting these all the way through. We do it with a router, but some people do it with a bandsaw or a scroll saw. But yeah, I do get more for the shaped signs. Quite a bit more work goes into those than just the rectangles.
One thing that I kind of want to add to that is, remember, you're not just charging for the material you're using, you're charging for the work you're putting into it. You know, so if there's more work that goes into a sign, you know, I generally charge a little bit more, except for inset and outset. On those with the regular size boards, a little more work goes into the outset. I don't charge for that. I just keep it for the basic size. But if I'm cutting a shape or adding special artwork that they want, I have an extra fee for that.
Yeah,
because it's more work, more time.
Yeah. And then the next question is, do you also add some of your templates in the cost of the sign or extra charge? So what he means by that is these small layout templates, which, you know, we have hundreds of different ones. So when there's artwork on a board and it's one of my layout templates that are fairly quick and easy, I don't normally charge extra for that, just because anytime that I've got one of those that I can carve fairly quickly and fairly simply, anytime I've got one of those, it lessens the amount of letters that can go on the board, so it takes up some of that room. And I don't charge by the letter. Basically, it's whatever I can fit on that board, it's that charge. The caveat to that is just exactly what Ryan said, was that if it's some of their artwork or something that's really special from an artwork standpoint, then we get into extra charges. Sometimes $20, sometimes $10 if it's simple, sometimes $20 or more, depending on the size of the sign too.
Yeah.
So, also, in one of your videos, you say that you discounted the sign to the customer if they do their own finishing. Approximately how much do you knock off? So it doesn't come into play on the small stuff very much, just because I generally put a finish, especially if I'm carving on site. I just put a real quick coat of finish on it, and that's it. I'm done with it. I just want something that will kind of protect it a little bit. It's definitely not a full finish on it, but it just protects it a little bit, and it causes the grain and the color to stand out a little bit more. And for that, you know, normally not. Normally that is not the case where I would knock off some of the price on the small stuff. Now, the bigger signs, that's a different story. If it's a big 2 foot by 4 foot sign, something like that, and I don't have to finish it, you know, we both know that, and you guys probably know that the bigger signs are kind of a pain to finish, especially if you get into painting the letters. Then they can really be a pain and very time consuming. So then, yes, I will absolutely maybe knock 50 maybe $100 off the sign, depending on how large it is. So yeah, the finishing on a big sign, that's really cumbersome and becomes you know, problematic from the standpoint of time consuming, of kind of eating up your time. So I'll definitely, if the customer wants to finish the sign themselves, then I'll absolutely knock some of the price off for that.
And one thing Dad was saying about carving on site versus carving something in your shop, you know, because when you're in your shop, you're not as on much of a time frame, a time constraint as you are carving on site, you know, because they're two completely different things. When you're carving on site, you know, people, they'll come up, they'll order a sign, you tell them, all right, it'll be done in a half hour or whatever it'll take, you know, if there's people ahead of them, and they'll go hang out, walk around, and then come back. When you're carving on site, there's just so many different factors that come into play that, you know, we've talked about, you've talked about mainly, and so there's just a different dynamic when you're doing that. Like if you're carving on site, Dad said, you know, he puts one coat of finish on and then gives it to him and tells him to get some finish and, you know, put a couple more. But if you're in your shop, you generally, what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4 coats generally.
Yeah. So there's a different dynamic, and we're actually getting ready to put some stuff together to do some courses on the different things that are going on with different situations. But
well, the other thing about finishing a big sign in your shop is it takes up room, and you have to put a finish on it, and then it has to dry. So then you have to have kind of a dedicated, if you're working on other stuff, you've got to have a dedicated place for that to dry, so sawdust doesn't get in and all that. So it becomes, there's just a lot of dynamics, like you say, a lot of dynamics that come into play when you're finishing a big sign in your shop. So you know, you need to charge for that, and if you don't have to do it, then knock some off that price. Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's it. That's what we got, right? Yep, yeah, that's it. So guys, remember tonight we'll be doing the live, and I think last week didn't we do Instagram and no, we did Facebook and YouTube at the same time. YouTube, yeah. So I think we'll probably do that again. That'll be up to the boss. We do what she says. So anyway, tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time, or no, excuse me, Mountain Time. Arizona Mountain Time this time of year. So we got some great things coming up, some announcements. I think we'll probably be doing a giveaway tonight, and yeah, we got to get out of here and hit the road. We're on our way to Phoenix. So anyway, guys, have a great Friday, and hopefully we'll see you tonight. And then next week we got the video for the Woodworker's Source sign, and then a Big Sign Carvers of the Day on Wednesday. So lots of things going on. If you have any questions, please email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. If you need any supplies, there's the website. Don't forget about premium membership, guys. I don't talk about that very often, but you're going to hear more about that coming up, and some little tweaks, some additions to premium membership, and some other benefits that you guys will be hearing about pretty soon. So anyway, guys, thanks. We'll see you tonight.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, guys.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was.
All right, guys.
Left out a couple words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys tonight.
Bye.